I mean, Southern Maryland's great and all, but there are just some really interesting things that I don't think a lot of people know about before they move here. So go ahead and watch this video, and I'm going to tell you about those interesting things before you make the decision to move here. All right, what's up everybody? My name is Rob Schou and I'm here with EXP Realty in Southern Maryland. If you're looking to move to Southern Maryland, make sure you use that contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help you make your move so much easier. You can also scroll down to the first comment, click on the link, and it'll schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one with me where we can talk about your home buying needs. And last but not least, if you have not yet, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content about moving to Southern Maryland. So we're going to talk about 6 things. We're going to talk about what cell phone provider you need to use, what's the deal with the liquor stores in Maryland, especially Southern Maryland. We're going to talk about where you take your trash in St. Mary's County and other counties in Southern Maryland. We're going to talk about drive time and commute and how, while it may be farther, it's not as long as you think. We're going to talk about, of course, the ever-present jet noise around the different Navy bases and some UFO sightings. And last but not least, we're going to talk about one of the favorite things that people love to eat down here. All right, so the first one, and probably one of the most asked questions that I get when new people from other areas of the country are coming in here, it's what cell phone providers can I use? Now, I always tell them that you can use a lot of different ones around here, but the one that makes the most sense because you get reception in more places than any of the other ones is definitely going to be Verizon. It just gets better service throughout St. Mary's and Charles and into Calvert County too. It just gets better service. Now I've had T-Mobile, I've AT&T, I've had Visible, I've had all the different carriers, and I've just never been satisfied with the amount of dead zone each one of those had in different areas of Southern Maryland. So I would definitely say the best carrier to use is Verizon. Now, I think Verizon is one of the more expensive ones, and I really don't care for their customer service compared to other places or other carriers that I've had. But man, I hate dropping a call when I'm driving somewhere, and so it definitely is the best choice for me. And I think it's probably going to be the most reliable choice for you as well. All right, so number 2, and one that I get asked a lot as well, is what's the liquor store situation? In Maryland, you can find everything in the one liquor store. So they have beer, liquor, wine, the seltzers and all that kind of stuff in the one liquor store. Now, in most places in Maryland, grocery stores do not carry any alcohol. There are some exceptions, I think, where grocery stores had a liquor license previously, but for the most part, you're not going to see grocery stores with alcohol. Now, if you go to Virginia, it's one of the first things you'll notice is that they have alcohol in those stores, but for the most part, we don't have that in Maryland. There are some actual gas stations too that have it, but normally what it is, it's a gas station that had a liquor license first and then got gas pumps later. But for the most part, a liquor store is where you're going to find everything you're going to need alcohol-wise in Maryland. Number 3 is something when I first moved down here, I moved from Annapolis and we had curbside trash pickup and never really thought about it. You just put your trash in a can, took the can to the curb, the people came and picked it up and it was done. And I got down here and I didn't see that anywhere. And so finally I realized that that's not how trash works down here for the most part. Now, if you are in a neighborhood, you can have that curbside pickup, but a lot of people take advantage of the free, it's not really free because you do pay it in county taxes, but each use you can go to this thing called a transfer station. Now, a transfer station is basically just a place they park a gigantic dumpster that you can throw your trash, and also there's recycling and different stuff there too for you to be able to use. When you go up there, if you're a St. Mary's County resident or a Calvert County resident or a Charles County resident, you can just drive in, throw your trash out, and you're good to go. And for the most part, you're not paying anything besides that fee that you're paying with your yearly taxes. I think it's around $80 or so for that yearly fee. I think it's super convenient. I have a truck, so it's a lot easier to take that back and forth. Some people don't like it because they don't want to put stinky trash in their cars and maybe they don't have a truck. You can get totes and things like that to put it in, or you can just bite the bullet and definitely just pay for that curbside pickup. But that's something definitely different than most places. I think having those transfer stations is what they're called around there to pick your or to dump your trash. All right, so number 4 was something that I thought about actually when we were just up in DC. Is that a lot of people complain that everything's so far apart in Southern Maryland. And I agree with them. You're thinking everything's about 10 to 20 miles away if you're kind of on the outskirts of different areas like Leonardtown or Lexington Park. And it sounds like a long ways away, and it's kind of is, but travel time wise, 10 miles in Southern Maryland is normally about 10 minutes. Unless you're in Lexington Park or you're in California or in Waldorf, the mileage, because you can drive about 50 to 60 miles, is about the minutes. It literally took us 25 minutes to go 1 mile in Washington, D.C. a few nights ago. 1 mile. So, I get that the travel time is a lot, I get that the travel distance is a lot different between the two areas, but the travel time is going to be about the same. So, the nice thing about being in DC and in the city is you have different modes of transportations. You can hop out and walk. You could do all this other stuff. But I don't think the travel time is really that much different than other areas, even though that distance is a lot bigger. Okay, so the 5th one is we're by a Navy base. There's multiple Navy bases around the different Southern Maryland areas. I live by Pax River. There's also Andrews Air Force Base up near Charles County, and then also Dahlgren, which is across the river in Virginia, but you can always hear stuff they're doing as well. And with that comes lots of military jet noise and all that kind of stuff. So just be prepared for that. You hear sonic booms, you hear things, well, you're not supposed to hear sonic booms, but every once in a while they'll make a mistake and there'll be a sonic boom. So there's just weird things always going on. And I think that's also why, especially down here in Piney Point where I live, years ago there was always rumors of there being UFOs, but most of the time what I've understood from other people is the UFOs weren't really UFOs in the sense of outer space UFOs. They were test flights of different drones or other aircraft that the Navy was testing out. All right, so the last one I'm going to talk about is, if you're going to a party in Southern Maryland and it's outside and it's during the summer, there is a chance that you're going to have a big old pile of Chesapeake Bay blue crabs there to eat as well. So make sure you're prepared for that. Make sure you understand that you're going to be asked to sit down and do a lot of work for a little bit of meat, but I think it's some of the most fun you can have at a cookout because you can just sit down, you can just talk to the people you're eating with, and just get kind of lost. You're not going to fill up on blue crabs. You're probably going to want to eat a cheeseburger or something like that, or some corn and things like that go with it, unless you're really skilled at picking. So it's more of a social event than anything else. All right, so I have one last bonus one because you're going to also run into these. Someone is going to ask you if you would like, especially if you drink Bud Light or Budweiser, if you want a 10-ounce beer. Now, 10-ounce beers are the same as regular Bud Light or Miller Lite or Coors Light. They're just in a smaller can. And I've always wondered why that was. And I went digging through some articles, and it just came down to price. So back in the day, Baltimore beer was 5 to 10 cents cheaper than Budweiser. And when the local distributor, George Guy, met with Augustus Busch, he talked him into making these smaller cans to make it so he'll sell more Budweiser because they can charge less for it. So it literally was made just to make Budweiser more affordable, even though you're getting less beer. I don't know. And now that I know why they did it, it seems kind of silly. All the locals say it's because, it's just a cool can and, that last sip of beer is warm anyway. So why would you want 12 ounces? But it's definitely something you're going to see when you move down here. People are drinking 10-ounce beers on the regular. All right, so hopefully this information was helpful. Hopefully it gets you a little bit of understanding of what you're going to be moving to when you move to Southern Maryland. If you have any questions or need any help, make sure you reach out to me. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help you make that move down here a lot easier. Also, you can scroll down, click on the first link, and it will schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one with me where we can talk about your home buying needs. And last but not least, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content. Hope to see you on the next video.